Welcome to JerAwards. Today we're going to recap Season 4 of Buffy, the Vampire Slayer. This video is going to be a little bit late because it's supposed to come out today, and I'm recording it today because I didn't already record it when I thought that I did. I checked my schedules, and I was like, oh. So I have to do this and then hop over and record Angels. I don't know which is actually going to come out first. I also noticed I couldn't find my pink hat, so we're just wearing an old Kobe hat. It's no big deal. If you're new to this, at the end of each season of the major shows that we watch, I like to recap the seasons, just talking about them very briefly in my own way. It used to be kind of more long-winded episode by episode. This is more kind of off the top of the dome from what I can recall from the season. Then we'll go into the JerAwards. We'll give awards out for our favorite episode, favorite scene, funniest, favorite characters, favorite season, and then favorite episode. And then at the end, we'll do our in memoriam and just say rest in peace to all the people that have passed in the show. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So again, apologies for this being a little bit late. We'll just start with a recap of season 4. So we're picking up at the end of season 3, where the mayor goes full bad shit, gets his ritual, gets his summonings, whatever it was called, turns into a giant snake, eats a couple of people. The whole school fights against him. Sunnydale High School blows up. But luckily for us, it was the end of the season, and our Scooby Gang, excuse me, my nose is itching, I'm trying not to sneeze. The Scooby Gang has graduated high school, so they're off to college. Everything's perfect timing, but in the midst of this, we're also coming off of a season where Angel breaks up with Buffy in the sewers to go pursue his own show, which is why we're also watching Angel. So now this is Buffy on her own. She's by herself. She's a freshman in college. And that's where we pick up is in freshman year. She kind of doesn't have her groove. She's lost Angel. She's just trying to get her footing back. Pedro Pascal shows up, which is dope. And he dies, which is not dope. And then we get a weird roommate who ends up being a demon. We get the return of Harmony, kind of being alongside Spike. We have a good, fun Halloween episode with the gang. And then we end our lovely beginning of the season to go right into Beer Bad, which is beers making everybody bad shit crazy. Turns Buffy into a caveman. And it's just ass. It's just ass all the way around. So Buffy's hanging out, drinking with a bunch of guys. It leads us into Wild at Heart because leading up to this point, Buffy and the gang have just kind of been getting in the groove of being in college. Buffy in her new classes, kind of sort of maybe crushing on a guy. I think at this point, she's already met Peter Parker, not she's already met Parker, and she kind of was falling head over heels for this guy. He was normal, this, that, and the other, and he just used her for a one-night stand and moved on, and it kind of hurt her. It hurt her badly, but he got punched in the face by caveman Buffy. So I think it all ended up working out. Parker was a real piece of shit. I'm glad that was short-lived because it seemed like it was going to be longer. But he seemed nice on the surface. Don't trust guys named Peter. Don't trust guys named Parker. If their name's Peter Parker, that's Spider-Man. That's okay. Wild at Heart. Throughout this, they kind of introduced this character for a few episodes named Veruca, who Oz could smell. Oz and Willow still going steady, still doing their thing. And Oz could sense that this was potentially another wolf. And they end up both in wolf form during a full moon, and Oz cheats on Willow. And you could see that he has no recollection of it, and he hates himself for it. And it's all pain, and it's all agony, and it sucks, because after that, he then decides that he has to go. He's got to go. He's got to go find himself. And the unfortunate part about this is we find out later, myself, that Seth Green was promised something else for his character from Joss. And he was promised this werewolf character to be more in depth, but he ended up kind of being a yes man for Willow, which wasn't a bad thing, but there was more depth to his character. So that leads to Seth stepping away to film a movie with the hopes of coming back to his character, and he ends up gone for the next 13 episodes, which is a couple of months, right? And then they kind of write him off the show. By the time he gets back, he's written off, and they never open that door back up to him after he leaves on the 19th episode. From my understanding from reading it, I don't think he's going to return to the show at all. I think that's just it. I could be wrong on that. Could return towards the later seasons, but it seems like he got the short end of the stick. So Oz moves away. We get introduced to the Initiative, which is the military SEAL Team 6 has been roaming around this whole time, poking around campus. And we find out that there's maybe the potential second love interest of Buffy and Riley. He's a part of the Initiative. So him being a part of the Initiative uh, adds an interesting layer to it. We find out that Maggie Walsh, her professor, is the leader of the Initiative, and it all ties together. From that point, uh, Maggie's been kind of working on something in the background behind a locked door. Everybody's trying to figure out what the locked door is. Spike ends up in the hands of the Initiative. They put a chip in his head, like South Park, like Cartman in South Park, so he can't actually harm people. And Spike ends up becoming kind of a side character to the Scooby Gang, which is a lot of fun. Maggie Walsh, her creation ends up being revealed as Adam, which is this giant cybernetic man who ends up killing her immediately. As soon as he's born, he's like, mother, and just stabs her in her shit. The more that time that Buffy and Riley spend together, the more that he becomes leader of the Initiative. He finds out that he's been getting doped up this whole time on superhuman drugs. When he stops taking them, he relapses. Um, and then by the end of it, again, we got Spike as a side character. We have to worry about Adam lurking about, causing havoc. The show gets really interesting with a couple of amazing episodes we'll talk about later, not exactly in the recap. Faith comes back into the fold for a minute for a little bit of a body swap. Oz comes back into the fold well later. May he leaves in November, he doesn't come back till May. And he comes back and he found a cure for his werewolfism, for his lycanthropy, werewolf people. He finds a cure and he can stay human during a full moon, and he wants Willow back, but Willow's kind of moved on with a girlfriend by the name of Tara, and he can smell that, and it makes him change, but he knows he can he goes back into being a werewolf, but he knows Willow's happy, and he leaves again at the end of that episode, and it's all fucking heartbreaking. Spike ends up teaming up with Adam with the promise of getting the chip removed in his head. He separates all of the friends, and all that does is bring the friends back better than ever. They put their powers together with our powers combined. They summon Super Buffy. Buffy kicks Adam's ass. And then the season finale is just a nightmare sequence leading up for season 5. Now, is that all over the place? Yes. Did I expect you to keep up? No. This season is Buffy relearning herself. It's a brand new season. We'll actually do it differently this time, because you guys will get the season rankings where we're at a little bit later. But I've actually dubbed season 4 called New Leaf. Turning over a new leaf. Animal Crossing New Leaf, right? It's college. Spike has a chip in his head. There's a new love interest, kind of for everyone. People are leaving. All things are starting fresh from this point, it feels. Brand new villain, brand new concept of a villain. The Initiative capturing demons and spawning a demon like that. Introducing the first Slayer. It's all a bunch of new things while getting rid of old things. It seems like we're getting into a second trilogy for the show, and it's beautiful. It's a banger of a season. We'll talk more about why we rank things the way we ranked them. The finale wasn't really a finale, but it is a finale because it's setting up for season 5. It almost feels like season 5, episode 1. But it was good. It's just all new horizons for everybody. For Xander and Anya's relationship, Willow and Tara now together. Oz is gone. Faith is gone. The mayor's gone. Giles is kind of in between things at the moment. He's looking for a new, fresh start. Buffy gets a couple love interests, and she ends up with Riley, and that's a fresh start. And the Initiative is blown up. That's a fresh start for him moving forward. So it all just feels like it's new things to move on about. So, yeah, I think it was a great season. That's really it for the soft recap. If you're a huge fan of the show, like I said, I know it probably wasn't anything special, but the big reason for these videos is the JerAwards, just to give awards out for my favorite things. Now, I will tell you, there are gaps in favorite scenes, heartbreaking scenes, etc. A lot of the free time spent watching these episodes and editing these episodes were done very quickly, to where I have to wake up, and I'm currently in the office. I normally work from home, but during this time period, I have to go in office to help to do my job. at being a teacher. So it is it's a lot. It's a lot. So there's not a whole bunch here. There's even less on the Angel one, but I do have my favorites, even things I remembered later that were my favorites. I added to the list. So bear with me for this. I plan on doing much better with season 5. This has been a weird. Buffy and Angel's been weird for the JerAwards for some reason. I don't know what that is. So without further ado, let's get right into the JerAwards, and we'll start things off with favorite episode. Your nominees: Episode 1, The Freshman; 3, The Harsh Light of Day; 4, Fear Itself; 6, Wild at Heart; 7, The Initiative; 9, Something Blue; 10, Hush. We didn't even talk about that. 12, A New Man; 15, This Year's Girl; 16, Who Are You; 19, New Moon Rising; 20, The Yoko Factor; and 21 with Primeval. This was tough. The Yoko Factor is a phenomenal episode, but it really came down to 2 episodes, and that was episode 10 being Hush and episode 16 being Who Are You. Who. Honestly, episode 15 was up there as well. That was This Year's Girl, but Hush was phenomenal. Barely any dialogue, silent film style, and it was great. It was different. Doesn't play too much a factor into the story. Helps open some dialogue, because at the end of it, they both really want to talk to each other, Buffy and Riley, and neither one of them have anything to say. So beautiful there. And then Who Are You is Buffy and Faith swapping bodies. Faith sleeps with Riley in Buffy's body. Buffy's trying to convince people that she's not Faith. And it's a huge back and forth. I think that double episode of This Year's Girl and Who Are You is phenomenal. My favorite episode of season 4, shockingly, is not Hush. I know critically it's one of the best episodes, but my favorite episode is Who Are You? It was beautiful, it was strong, it was impactful, and Eliza Dushku got credit for playing Buffy, which is pretty cool. I like that. So anyways, favorite episode. Favorite scene? Buffy hitting Parker in 4-5, Riley hitting Parker, Willow giving Riley Buffy advice, Xander and Harmony's fight, Buffy asking Giles to give her away on 4-9 to Spike, but still. Buffy and Faith's dream sequence in 4-15, Angel and Riley's confrontation in 4-20, but my favorite scene of all of season 4 was Earth, Fire, Wind, Water, Heart. With our powers combined, they summoned Captain Super Buffy. Super Buffy was the best part of this. Favorite scene for me personally. Most heartbreaking scene. There's a couple on here. You know, Willow seeing Oz with Veruca in 4-6. Oz leaving at the end of that episode. Oz leaving again after he finds out that Willow's with Tara. Buffy hearing that Riley had sex with Faith, even though she was Buffy, was heartbreaking. But for me, the most heartbreaking thing comes from season 4, episode 16. And that was Faith kicking her own ass. Faith was in Buffy's body. So she was beating up her body with Buffy in it. And, yeah, a lot of her internal emotions and her anger and everything else really came pouring out. And that just, ugh. Now, seeing Willow cry because of the stuff with Oz is way sadder. But for me, just the most heartbreaking, it's just that. It sucked, man. Listen, I have a lot of stuff listed as funniest scene. If you watched every episode, you know what the funniest scene was for me. I'm going to say all of them, but the winner. So, it's alive! Giles on Halloween with his Frankenstein toy. Hello. Giles at the bronze. I'm not being tied up to a chair 3 feet away while these two shag. Spike talking to Giles about going to Xander's. Spike trying to attack Xander, but his chip stopping him. Spike in shorts with his kneecaps out. Instead of being mistaken, you're myth-taken, because the Slayer's a myth. Xander, it's me, Giles, as Demon Giles. Fucking hilarious. Demon Giles chasing Professor Walsh. Xander being electrocuted. But none of those was as funny as fucking Giles being blind and Xander doing this and Giles going, stop whatever you're doing. You smell like fruit roll-ups. That comes from season 4, episode 9. Something Blue is in my probably top 3, top 4 episodes of this season because holy shit, that was a good one. No favorite quote, so favorite kill. Again, not a whole bunch listed here. Oz killing Veruca was nice. Adam removing a vampire's head was nice, but Super Buffy removing Adam's heart from 421 takes the cake for favorite kill. Favorite kiss, couple nominees, Oz and Willow, Buffy and Riley, the implied kiss between Willow and Tara. But Buffy and Spike from season 4, episode 9 was hilarious. Really well done. I dig it. Favorite ship? Is it? Again, a couple of these are my own ships, fan-made ships. A couple are thrown in here. We got Buffy and Willow. I know y'all think I'm crazy for that. Buffy and Riley, Giles and Joyce, Willow and Oz, Willow and Tara, Xander and Anya, Buffy and Faith, and Spike and Buffy, which is a new thing to this list. So is Willow and Tara. And your winner for favorite ship of season 4 is Willow and Tara because they're fucking beautiful. End of story. Favorite friendship, it was hard to pick. There's a couple good ones, but it goes to Buffy and Willow. Their relationship kind of had a strain as Willow was kind of changing. And I say changing as in also going through school, getting broken up with, and transitioning into a relationship with Tara, even though she didn't know she had those type of feelings, but she knew her darker half, which isn't a knock by saying darker half. She knew her darker half may have been a little bit gay, which was just foreshadowing to her having this lesbian relationship with Tara, which is very wholesome. So, yeah, I think Buffy and Willow at the core end of it, their relationship kind of stayed pretty strong. Not all the time, but that was still my favorite of the bunch. Most underrated character has always been between Willow and Giles. This season, underrated. Not underrated by the audience and watching. I'm saying underrated from the people in the show and maybe for the audience as well. I think it's Spike. Spike, yes, went behind them and worked behind their backs, but he's also kind of the reason, they picked up on it. Spike's the reason for a lot of things. I think his character showed a lot of growth, and him being pretty much a member of the Scoobies, and he's in the opening credits. They don't get much better than that. Least favorite character was everybody from Beer Bad, all the frat bros. Okay, thank you. Actually, Parker is my least favorite character. He's just dog shit, but all the people from Beer Bad just sucked. Parker definitely, put an exclamation point right here. Parker is the fucking worst. We'll end kind of the awards here with our favorite character. Favorite character nominees: Buffy, Willow, Xander, Giles, Oz, Tara, Faith. There's a lot of things listed here. Riley's in there as well. Adam was a fun character, but he's not going to get on this list. Favorite character for season 4 is Giles. Giles was the funniest. He was great. What a big, beautiful, perfect boy. Like I told you, the season name for this was A New Leaf. My current rankings for the seasons. We will stop doing this after next season, so you can't pinpoint where things are. We're going to start with least favorite to favorite. Season 1, we called The Hellmouth. Season 3 was Never Put Your Faith in the Government. Season 4 is our current runner-up with New Leaf. And then Season 2 is Be Not Afraid. And it's Angel being the big bad. So that's my season rankings. The finale rankings is completely different, kind of. Season 4 is my least favorite. We call Dreamville. With Our Powers Combined would have been the finale name. If it would have been, it just would have just swapped these next two. Season 3, Xavier's Institute for the Young and Gifted. School's out for Season 3. Then second runner-up favorite is Season 1, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. And then favorite finale so far is Season 2, which is dominating, which was Good Night, Sweet Prince, Buffy sending Angel to hell. Season 2 is pretty peak, right? So that's where our season rankings are, which leaves us with one thing left, and that is our in memoriam, in loving peace, in loving piss to the following people: Eddie/Vampire Eddie, Rookie, Jerry, Sunday, Josh, Gaknar, Veruca, Tom, Jamie, Professor Gerhardt, Father Gabriel, Huss, The Gentleman, Maggie Walsh, A Demon, Boone, Willis, Forrest, Colonel McNamara, and Adam. So to wrap that up, Eddie, Professor Walsh, and Adam is who I would say my final farewells to. So that's that. There's our rest in pieces, rest in dirts. This next part is just for the Patreon peeps who pay attention to the dice rolls that we do each episode. If you don't, go ahead and skip to the end of this. The most rolled number was 15, rolled 4 times. Highest number was 20, rolled 3. Lowest number was 1, rolled once. Double digits beat single digits 15 to 10. That's 60 to 40%. Evens lost to odds. Odds was better at 16 to 9. Back-to-back rolls rolled the number 15 for episodes 2 and 3 and episodes 14 and 15. And we rolled the number 7 for episodes 21 and 22. For numbers matching the episode, on season 4, episode 15, we rolled a 15. And for episode 17, we rolled a 17. For numbers not rolled, we did not roll 5, 8, 9, 12, 16, and 19. And for your rolls to end the season, we rolled a 7, a 13, a 17, and a 20 for a grand total of 57. So that is it. That is our recap for the season. That's what we got going on. I got some sleep behind my eyes. I still got to go do the Angel one of these. And I had fun. I had fun with it. I think the season is great. I think it could be listed as somebody's favorite season. I wouldn't argue it against it. I would 100% see why. We're going to get started on season 5 come Monday. So we'll have probably this recap and the Angel recap sometime on Sunday, May the 4th be with you. I'm not quite sure. But I love the season. I am heavy behind the eyes. I'm going to wrap this up so I can get some energy and then come back for the Angel one, okay? Both of these should be the same day. If not, my apologies. I still got to do a thumbnail and everything like that. So I'm excited for season 5. It should be a banger. Links and everything in the description box down below. Playlist up on screen. Stay cute. Stay hydrated. I'll catch you on the next one.